What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be ranking both the best endgame cards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM as well as the best invincible cards in the entire game. Now, to make this video a little more entertaining and a little more fun, we are going to drag all the endgame cards until last, so we won't rank them until the very end. It's also important to note, basically all of these cards, every one of them has basically 95 or above stats in every single category. Each and every one of these cards is going to have over 60 Hall of Fame badges. And so all these cards are absolutely immaculate in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. A lot of this is preference based or animation based in which ones I specifically prefer. Now again, just because I have a card in D tier doesn't mean the player is bad. That just means I like other cards more than that specific player. Now, we're going to start it off here with Anthony Davis. And I'm going to go B tier with Anthony Davis. Now, he might get moved down. I'm throwing that one out there. He may get moved down. But here's my opinion on Anthony Davis. A really solid card in my team. The only problem that I see with Anthony Davis is that the power forward position for today's game, he's only 6'10". That's the only negative side to Anthony Davis. Now, how much better is he than a guy like Ben Wallace? I would make that point too. I mean, Ben Wallace is 6'9", and I think can do a lot of things Anthony Davis can do. And so that's my opinion. Only 6'10", still really good in my team. Ben Simmons up next. We're only going A tier. Now, you guys may be like, Ty, what? Ben Simmons isn't S tier? He's not. And that's not me saying Ben Simmons is bad. And I hope you guys are aware of this. Now, Ben Simmons, invincible card, has everything going for me. He even comes with the normal leaner. Ben Simmons based on very quick. I mean, he's still 6'11", going to be one of the best, probably the best point guard defense player in the game. All that to say, he's still not the best point guard in the game, and so I don't think I can drag him any higher than B or than A tier right now. Looking at our first F tier player with Bill Russell. I'm not sitting up here in front of you guys saying Bill Russell was absolutely useless or saying he's a, absolutely horrible power forward in my team. He's a horrible invincible in my team, though. And that's the point of this tier list. The card doesn't even have a good release. He's only 6'10". He's basically an Anthony Davis, take away AD's release. I mean, the Bill Russell is not good in my team. If you want to argue Bill Russell is good, I will sit here and argue that to the end of time. Bill Russell, not very good in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Cade Cunningham is the epitome of his B tier player. I think, it's hard to argue Cade over a guy like Ben Simmons. I will say, though, Cade's underrated, and I firmly will stand firm on that. A lot of people hate Cade, though throw slander and shade on his name. I did a gameplay with Cade Cunningham, and it was probably one of the better gameplays I've done all year long. I mean, I was absolutely cooking my opponent with Mr. Cade Cunningham. Up next, guys, we got David Robinson. I do prefer David Robinson to Anthony Davis, so right now, I'm putting David Robinson in A tier. AD might get moved around. Cade might get moved around. Ben Simmons and D-Rob are probably pretty firm in A tier, at least Ben Simmons. D-Rob, I mean, I guess could be B tier if you wanted to. It's just, I mean, guys, this is an invincible tier list. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do this. Just for now. And you guys are going to see why. Invincibles are just so hard to rank. Another invincible I'm not very high on is Dirk. Is Dirk better than Bill Russell? Yes. It's that simple. Do I like Dirk? No. I do not like Dirk at all. Not one bit. But he is better than Bill Russell. There is no debate on that. Dirk, obviously, we'll get to the end game card, and if there's no reason to run invincible Dirk, and because of that, I'm throwing him in F tier. I was going to, make the argument he's better than Bill Russell, which he is, but you can get the end game Dirk by just evoing him. So, I mean, he's an F tier caliber player. D-Wade, he's not bad. I'm going to throw him in C tier. Similar to Anthony Davis, undersized for their specific positions at this point of my team. D-Wade's release is one I love. Movement-wise, I love. And defensively, he does get ridiculous chase down block animations. If you don't like D-Wade, I get it. He's an undersized point guard at this point of 2K. But I love his release. I love the way he moves. And I still use the hero Dwayne Wade on my No Money Spent squad series. Evan Mobley up next, and I do think Evan Mobley is better than Anthony Davis. I do think Mobley is on that David Robinson type level. Now, Whether you prefer Mobley or David Robinson, that's really up to you guys. They're going to give you the same thing. Defensively, be absolutely elite. Incredible shot blockers. Rebounding-wise, they're going to be solid. And release-wise, I think they're both probably pretty similar levels. Now, with that being said, D-Rob's got a wider player model. Mobley's got a kind of slimmer player model. Now, what do you prefer is who you're going to choose. But both these cards are absolutely outstanding in my team. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Do I go S tier with Giannis? And I think I do. I think I do. Now, if you don't think Giannis is S tier or want to debate that he's not, that's okay. I mean, it really is personal preference. Now, what I will say is at the small forward position, his height and wingspan is absolutely immaculate. His release is good too, as well as he does come with a normal leaner. Giannis is nearly perfect in my team. There is a small forward I do like more than Giannis, so I guess we'll see where he does end up. Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean, he's B tier too. And that's the tough thing about these power forwards is D-Rob, Hakeem, Mobley. How do you separate them? I don't know. I think I prefer Hakeem over D-Rob at this point, though. I just don't know. I think this is how I'd lean right now. But it's tough. We'll have to see where my tier list lies. I think Hakeem's on the border of B tier and A tier. I feel like he fits more in B tier, and so that's where I'm going to keep him for the time being. A guy who doesn't fit in B tier is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, is Kareem going to go in S tier? That's a question you guys have, and my answer is no. Kareem is not going to go in S tier. It's nothing against Kareem. It's just there's a power forward that's better than him. Two power forwards that are better than Kareem at this point of my team. But look, if you're not trying to spend a ton of MT, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is your best option. When I say a ton of MT, I'm talking millions and millions and millions. Kareem is not quite a million MT, so there you go. In my opinion, the best auctionable power forward in the entire game. Kawhi Leonard up next, and I'm going A tier with Kawhi Leonard too. Small forward position, X, shooting guard position, whatever you prefer, wherever you prefer to run him, there's not one guy I prefer to Kawhi Leonard. And yes, you guys are going to say, Ty, you're biased towards Kawhi Leonard. You know what, guys? You were right, I am. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just me saying Kawhi Leonard in my team has secured my bread over and over again. And I'll ride with Kawhi until I die. K Disney up next. I'm sorry. For all you KD stands out there, from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And he might get moved up, depending on where things end up lying. I think maybe you play Kawhi at the 2 and KD at the 3. I want to keep it to about 5 per tier. So, might have to eventually move some people down. But for right now, I like where this is at. I guess I'll keep KD in A tier. KG is not horrible. He's D tier, though. Is that all that needs to be said? I mean, I used KG for a while. His release is just a little bit baited, and that's the only thing. I mean, I think Anthony Davis is better than KG, and so that's all I'm going to spend talking about him. Klay Thompson is not bad in my team. He's just not great, and I don't want to slander Klay. I'm not slandering Klay. No Klay slander will be tolerated, but I just don't think the card is that next level good in my team. He's still C tier though. Anything below C tier is just absolutely wild, in my opinion. Kobe Bryant. Here's the deal, guys. Here's what you're looking at with Klay Thompson and Kobe Bryant, and I want to make this comparison because it needs to be known. Now, with Kobe Bryant, yes, you're getting 100% a better release. I get that. But Kobe only has shifty dribble style. And if he would have had Kobe dribble style, maybe would have kept on to it. But he has shifty dribble style. And at this point, I think I'm taking Klay over Kobe. I'd put him at the same tier for now because I don't think either of them belongs in D tier. But I'm not super high on either of those cards. Another card I'm not super high on is LeBron James. I mean, I've said it before. I think Bobby Jones is better than Bron. Heck, I'll take Keegan Murray over Bron. Because of that, I'm putting him at D tier. I mean, LeBron is fine in my team. If you want to run the card, cool. But at this point, he needs an update. It's that simple. Luka Doncic is an easy S tier player, especially on next gen. He's not S tier on current gen, but as an overall card, he is S tier. Current gen, probably like C tier maybe. Next gen, he's the best player in the game. It's that simple. I mean, you have to put him at S tier because of how good he is on next gen, though. If you've not got the chance to use Luka, don't get the Invincible. Just get the other Dark Matter, and you will be just A-okay. Michael Jordan's Invincible card, I'm going to right now put him at S tier. You guys might not love MJ, but his movement is unquestioned. His release is not questioned. And honestly, his defense is unquestioned, too. Animations MJ gets are just absolutely ridiculous. I do think he's one of the most underrated cards. Just animation-wise, in the entire game. People think, oh, he's only 6'6" at shooting guard. Yeah, but his animations are just absolutely absurd, even if you do play him at the 2. Pau Gasol up next. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm going to put him in D tier, I guess. I do not like Pau Gasol, though. He'd be closer to F tier. We'll see where things lie, but I want to keep this thing balanced. So that's my goal. Right now, we'll put him in D tier, but I do want to keep this thing balanced. Just know I do not really love Pau Gasol. Paul George, I guess, is B tier because he's 6'9". And he is one of the best two-way shooting guards in the entire game, but I just don't love it. Paul George's SIGs aren't great. His release is not great. If you do want to run Paul George, you're running him strictly because he's a 6'9" shooting guard that's going to play incredible defense. I do think he's better than Kobe and Clay. I just don't love the fact that offensively, Kobe and Clay give you more than Paul George. That's why I don't like having Paul George at that tier above. Penny Hardaway, unpopular opinion, is D tier. And it's unpopular because everybody's going to be like, what? You have D Wade over him, you have Cade over him. What are you talking about? Penny Hardaway, his release is one of the most baited things I've ever seen in my entire life. It is so ridiculously baited in my team. And so because of that, I simply cannot have Penny Hardaway any higher. Robert Horry up next. I don't love Robert Horry. I don't. And what I'm going to do right now, you guys might not want me to do, but I'm going to do it. How does he compare to LeBron James? I mean, that's the question, and that's the debate we got to have. Who is better? Obviously, LeBron's wide player model helps him out. I do think, though, release-wise, you got to lean Robert Horry between both gens, probably. Dribble 6, I mean, you got to lean Robert Horry. He's taller. I think he's just a better overall card, and because of that, I'm going to put him at that C tier. Scottie Pippen, I mean, you guys can argue, but I think he's a similar level to Paul George. Because of that, I'm going to move Hakeem up right now because I want to keep this thing balanced. Say what you want, Scottie Pippen, Paul George. I don't love either of the releases. I like Scottie's movement better. Player model, I mean, pick whoever you want. Scottie Pippen, basically the exact same player at Paul George for this point of my team. Shaquille O'Neal at this point is not a great card. I'm going to throw him at that C tier. Because of that, I'm going to move Kobe down. You guys might not like it, but at this stage, I know Kobe's a lot better on current gen than Clay, but next gen Clay's got him. Shaq is C tier. If you love Shaq, do what you got to do. I'm just not the biggest Shaq fan in my team. Steph Curry up next. Easy addition to F tier. And if you got the free Steph, he's fine, guys. Do what you got to do. Run your Steph Curry. I just do not think he is great, obviously, in my team for this stage. Now, it gets pretty difficult because I want to keep this thing even. What I'm going to do is put Tim Duncan in D tier, move Pau Gasol down to F tier. I do think Tim Duncan gives you a little bit more than Pau Gasol release-wise. Obviously, it's not horrible. I just don't think he's as good as Anthony Davis. And obviously, Shaq is just a larger player, so they're completely different and hard to compare. But I do think this is the type of level Tim Duncan is on and deserves to be credited to. So now things get difficult because it's like, okay, you got to keep this thing balanced, but it's going to be nearly impossible. Tracy McGrady is Kawhi Leonard level. He's better than Paul George, Scottie Pippen. He's not as good as this MJ, but he is on the level of Kawhi Leonard, right? If you're asking me for my favorite shooting guards in the game, T-Mac still to this day is up there. I like his movement. I like his height. I love his wingspan. Love his player model. He gives you a lot on the court. Moving on to our endgame cards. Dirk, S tier. Set shot 25. The best power forward in the game. Wilt Chamberlain, S tier. Him and Wilt, Dirk and Wilt are the same. Wilt's better defensively, Dirk's better offensively. They're both S tier cards in my team. No debating it. Magic Johnson, gonna put him in A tier. I don't think he's quite as good as Luka Doncic. And you guys can not like that opinion. I don't really care. Give me Luka Doncic over Magic Johnson. Between him and Ben, it can go either way. But that is my firm opinion on it. And last but certainly not least is Scotty Barnes. We're looking at another S tier player. And so, look, it is gonna be a little proportion towards the higher side of things, but it's hard to bring that many endgame invincible cards any lower. And so this is where our tier list is going to end up. It's our S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and F tier. And it's not even saying this D tier, you can go out there with Penny, Kobe, Bron, KG, and Tim Duncan and have a lot of success. Same thing with C tier. I mean, you can go out there with those guys and have a lot of success. But if you run against this S tier type of a lineup, you are going to get fried and sizzled like a piece of bacon. It's gonna wrap it up for our video today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.